Hi, Andy Young of HCDC with another Q&A on the SBA 504 loan program. The SBA 504 Debt Refinance Program is back. What's it all about? With a change to legislation at the end of 2015, using a 504 loan for debt refinance is now a permanent part of the 504 program. However, the legislation requires that debt refinance only be in effect in those fiscal years when the 504 program has a zero subsidy cost to the government. The program will be available through September 30, 2017. By the summer of 2017, SBA will make a determination on the program subsidy cost for clearance for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2017. To qualify for a 504 debt refinance, each project must have what is called qualified debt. If it does, the refinance project may also include other secured debt and even some cash out for other business expenses. Qualified debt is a commercial loan that has certain characteristics. First, at least 85% of the proceeds of the loan must have been used to acquire an eligible fixed asset. Eligible fixed assets are one or more long-term fixed assets, such as land, buildings, machinery and equipment, acquired, construction, or improved by a small business for use in its operation. The debt must be not less than 2 years old at the time of the refinance application, and the debt cannot have any federal guarantee, which means the program cannot refinance an existing SBA 7A loan, nor the first mortgage portion of a 504 project. The loan must have been for the benefit of an eligible small business as defined by the SBA. The loan must be secured by the eligible fixed asset, and the lien must have been in place for at least 2 years. And the borrower must be current on all loan payments of the qualified debt for at least the past 12 months prior to application for the refinance. Along with the qualified debt, other business debt that is secured by the project property is also eligible to be refinanced. Like qualified debt, it must be at least 2 years old and all payments are current for the past year. SBA also allows for a limited amount of cash out to pay for other business obligations, such as inventory, rent, and salaries. This could be expenses incurred but not yet paid, or will become due over the next 18 months. Each refinance project requires an appraisal not less than 6 months old on the project property. Based upon this value, qualified debt and secured debt can be refinanced up to 90% loan to value. Unlike the regular 504 program, the 90% loan to value applies to special purpose properties as well. If the refinance qualified and secured debt exceeds 90% of the eligible fixed asset, the borrower may provide additional cash or other collateral so that the SBA does not exceed the 90% loan to value. Should the refinance project include a cash out for business expenses, the maximum loan to value is 75% and the maximum cash out amount is 25% of the value of the assets securing the qualified debt. The refinance program does have some eligibility requirements. These include, like the regular 504 program, the business using the refinance program must meet the 504 program job creation or other economic development requirements. The project cannot involve the expansion of the business. The business must be at least 2 years old with no change of ownership during that time. The refinance project must meet the 504 program occupancy requirements for owner-occupied at the time of application. In addition to the usual information needed in a regular 504 application, additional information required includes a transcript from the current lender of the previous 12-month payment history, a copy of the note or notes being refinanced with evidence of the use of funds, and evidence that the lien on the eligible fixed asset has been in place for at least 2 years. If cash out for business expenses is requested, there needs to be a description of each expense and an itemization of the amount. Now here are 6 examples of a refinance request. Number 1 is where there is a cash out request but no qualified debt to refinance. This is not acceptable, and the request cannot be processed as each project does require qualified debt to be eligible. Number 2 is to refinance $100,000 of qualified debt and $400,000 of other secured debt where the appraisal is $1 million. This is acceptable as the qualified and secured debt is less than 90% loan to value. Note that while the 504 loan cannot be more than 40% of the appraised value, the 504 loan can equal the third-party lender. Example 3 is to refinance $300,000 of qualified debt and $400,000 of business expenses. Again, the appraised value is $1 million. While the qualified debt is allowed, the cash out for business expenses is limited to 25% of the appraised value, or $250,000. The total financing allowed is $550,000, which is less than the 75% loan to value limitation. Example 4 is a request to refinance 3 qualified debt loans totaling $1,250,000 with an appraised value of $1 million. In order to get the SBA to the 90% loan to value limitation, the borrower may either bring in $350,000 in cash to make up the shortfall or provide $350,000 in additional collateral. Example 5 involves the refinance of $500,000 in qualified debt, $200,000 in secured debt, and $50,000 in cash out. Here the project is eligible as the cash out does not exceed 25% of the $1 million value of the eligible fixed asset, and the total loan to value is exactly 75%. The last example, again with $1 million valuation of the collateral, is $100,000 in qualified debt and $650,000 in cash out for business expenses. Because the cash out is limited to 25% of the $1 million valuation, in this case the total project cannot be more than $350,000. The SBA 504 Refinance Program is an excellent vehicle to refinance your existing real estate mortgage and include other secured debt and even some takeout cash for other business expenses, while locking in a long-term, low interest rate through the SBA 504 program. If your business is in Ohio or in Kentucky, be sure to contact HCDC to find out how this can work for you. Thank you.